Hello, good morning, friends. How are you? I think all of you are safe and sound at your home. So let us start our lecture, video lecture. That is, we are considering here the stereochemistry paper, section second, and that is related to the asymmetric synthesis. Okay, and in this asymmetric synthesis, we have discussed lot of things. And that's why in last lecture we were discussing about the Felkiner model rule number 3. This Felkiner model rule number 3 is related to the chelation effect. So what is chelation? When a heteroatom is present at the alpha chiral center to the carbonyl group, then along with that, if there is a metal cation such as zinc, copper, magnesium, manganese, okay, then titanium, etc. If such metal ions are present, they are capable of forming a chelate complex with the carbonyl oxygen, then the heteroatom present at the alpha chiral center, and that metal ion, they are forming a 5-membered chelate ring. Okay, and due to this formation of chelate ring, the nucleophilic attack of the nucleophile on the carbonyl carbon atom is get reversed as compared to the normal Felkiner model, rule number 1 and rule number 2. Okay, so we will continue our discussion. Last time we have discussed the two examples. So let us consider here the next example in this Felkiner model, rule number 3. In most of the cases in your university question paper, the question may be asked like this. So the reaction is given. So this is the substrate. This is a ketone, and this ketone is having alpha chiral center, and at this alpha chiral center there is a presence of alkoxy group OR, and this alkoxy group has a heteroatom oxygen and which is having lone pair of electrons. Okay, so when we do this reaction in presence of dimethyl magnesium, we are getting these products. In which this is major one, means the alkoxy group and hydroxy group at the adjacent carbon atoms in the product, they are trans or anti to each other. So this alkoxy group is beta and hydroxy group is alpha. This is a major product when we are using dimethyl magnesium. Why? Because this dimethyl magnesium nucleophile, this magnesium metal ion is capable of forming chelate ring. That's why we are getting such products. And along with that, we are getting enantiomer of this, and the enantiomer of this is this one. This is a minor product in which this alkoxy group and this hydroxy group, they are both on the same side of the plane of the molecule. That is, both are beta. Both are trans. They both are cis. Okay, so that's why this is the case when we are using dimethyl magnesium. But if we are using sodium borohydride, simply a hydride reducing agent, in which there is no any metal atom or ion which is capable of forming chelate ring. Okay, this sodium metal ion is present, but it is not able to form a chelate ring. So that's why the reversal of stereoselectivity is taken place, and that's why this will be as a minor product, this will be as a major product when we are using NaBH4. Minor means, no doubt here instead of methyl we are getting here hydrogen, because in this case the methyl is a nucleophile, methyl group is a nucleophile, and when we are using sodium borohydride, then we are getting here hydrogen. Okay, instead of methyl there will be hydrogen. So no doubt we are considering here how the stereoselectivity of the resulting product is get reversed due to the effect of chelate, and that is nothing but rule number 3 in Felkiner model. Chelation reverses the stereoselectivity. Now we have to explain this on the basis of this Felkiner model, rule number 3. Okay. Now first of all we will see how these two products are forming. Why it is as major, why it is as minor. We will see how only major product is forming, and automatically you will understood that how it is the minor product with chelation and without chelation. Okay. Now I am writing this substrate molecule in a Newman projection in our general rule. Okay, so this is uh, front carbon atom, that is carbonyl carbon. This is carbonyl oxygen. Okay. Then this is phenyl ring. This is phenyl ring, opposite to that of carbonyl. Okay. Then this rear carbon atom is this alpha carbon atom, and this alkoxy group is here. This is alkoxy group, OR. Then this is methyl, and this is hydrogen. Okay. So alkoxy group, which is a heteroatom, I keep that heteroatom at perpendicular position to the carbonyl group. Okay. So this is the most favored conformation of this given ketone. Okay. Now here we have this magnesium as a heteroatom, and due to this magnesium heteroatom, this alkoxy group is previously it is at 90 degree to this carbonyl group. It gets shifted like this. Okay. So angle between this alkoxy group and this carbonyl group is get reduced, and that's why we have to write here this alkoxy group in this fashion, OR. Okay. This oxygen having lone pair, this oxygen atom is also having lone pair of electron. Okay. And it is forming chelate. It is forming chelate with this magnesium. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. So 2 carbon atoms are involved. The front and rear carbon atom both are involved in this chelate formation. So 5-membered ring chelate formation has been taken place. So that's why, as there is lot of space from the left hand side, from my left hand side, a lot of space is available due to the contraction of the angle between this alkoxy group and this carbonyl group. Our nucleophile is methyl group, and this Me minus, okay, Me minus, that is methyl nucleophile, is attacking. I am writing here nucleophile only, then you will understand. Nucleophile will attack, okay, from this side on this carbon atom, and that's why we can write here how the groups are moving or changing their position. So hydroxy will come here, and this phenyl group will come here, and from this side we have a nucleophile. Okay. Then the remaining atoms and groups remain in their position. So it is OR. It is OR. Then this is methyl. This is methyl, and this is hydrogen. Okay, this is hydrogen. Okay. Now this is our product obtained after the nucleophilic attack on this carbonyl carbon. Now rotate the molecule in such a way that we know that by redrawing we are getting the long chain carbon atom in a plane of the molecule. So we have a product that is methyl, alpha carbon atom, carbonyl carbon atom, and phenyl ring. They are in the plane of the molecule. So this methyl is there, but phenyl is not in the plane. So this is the plane of the molecule. See, this is the plane of the molecule. So phenyl group is not in the plane. So redraw this. Okay. So rotate this front carbon atom by 120 degree, and then phenyl will come here, nucleophile will go here, hydroxy will come here. So okay, I am writing that. So phenyl group will come here, hydroxy group will go here, and this nucleophile will go on the top. Okay. And methyl group is in the plane of the molecule, so keep it as it is. Rear carbon atom, keep it as it is. Then alkoxy group on the rear carbon atom, and this is hydrogen. Okay. Now I am drawing this molecule. In a zigzag manner. So pH, okay, pH, then carbonyl carbon, that is hydroxy. Hydroxy is below the plane of the molecule. This is the plane. This is hydroxy is below the plane. This alkoxy is above the plane of the molecule. Means they are anti to each other. So this is our resulting product. Alkoxy is above the plane and hydroxy is below the plane. So they are anti to each other. So same result we are getting here. So hydroxy below the plane OH, then nucleophile, incoming nucleophile is above the plane. Now I am writing a nucleophile, which is nucleophile is methyl group is there, so I am writing directly methyl. Okay, then next rear carbon atom CH, in which alkoxy is above the plane, OR, okay, and hydrogen is below, and methyl is in the plane. Methyl is in the plane. Okay, so this product we are getting as a major product. So this and this one is same, only the change, the writing manner or pattern is changed. So phenyl, then alpha carbon atom, in which hydroxy is alpha, here methyl group is beta, adjacent carbon atom alkoxy group is alpha, and the methyl group is in the plane of the molecule. So this one and this one, they are same. Okay, so what is our product? So we are getting hydroxy and alkoxy, they are anti to each other. So this one is a major product. Okay, and obviously this could be formed as a minor product. Okay, no need to show, okay, all these details. Now this is the effect of chelation. The magnesium atom is there and this is able to form a chelate ring. That's why this is the resulting product. Now what will happen if we are starting with this substrate and the reducing agent or the hydrate reducing agent or nucleophile is H minus from the sodium borohydride. Okay, so I am writing the product without chelation. Okay, and when without chelation is the product, then stereoselectivity is get reversed. So that's why the major product will become minor and minor product will become major. Now we will see, in this case we are saying this, why this product is obtained as a major product when we are using sodium borohydride as a nucleophile. Okay, so the stable conformation will again same, that is this is carbonyl, phenyl group, okay, then alkoxy group here, OR, then methyl group, and this is hydrogen. This is stable conformation. First of all, you have to consider this stable conformation in which this heteroatom with electronegative atom must place at a perpendicular angle to this carbonyl group, like this. This is that's why this is stable conformation which has minimum interactions. Now, as there is no any metal ion present in this case. Okay, so our nucleophile here, nucleophile Nu minus, nucleophile here it is hydride ion, will attack from the right hand side. Okay, because there is a 90-degree angle between this alkoxy and this carbonyl. So that's why nucleophile has not get enough space to attack from the left hand side. So that's why it will prefer to attack from the right hand side. Okay, so what is my orientation in the Newman projection? So now as nucleophile is attacking from this right hand side, this hydroxy group, carbonyl group is getting converted to hydroxy and it will get to left hand side, OH, okay, this phenyl ring and this hydride. I am writing a nucleophile. Okay, the remaining groups will remain as it is, OR, and this is methyl, and this is hydrogen. So this is the case. Now redraw the molecule in such a way that this phenyl ring and methyl, they are in the plane of the molecule. So rotate this phenyl group is here, so rotate it by 60 degree. Methyl group is here, rotate that rear carbon atom by 60 degree. So we can write like this: phenyl, then there will be phenyl, then hydroxy will take the position here, and methyl group takes the position here. Then rotate the rear carbon atom in which phenyl group, hydroxy, and this is nucleophile. Phenyl, hydroxy, and nucleophile will come here. Now methyl group is here, so rotate the rear carbon atom, and that's why methyl group will come here. Hydrogen will come here, and alkoxy group will come here. Okay. Now look at this. Alkoxy group and this hydroxy group. This is the plane of the molecule. Phenyl ring, front carbon atom, rear carbon atom, and methyl ring, methyl group. This is the plane of the molecule, and here alkoxy group on the rear carbon atom and hydroxy group on the front carbon atom, they are on the same side of the plane of the molecule. So this is the case. Alkoxy is also beta, hydroxy is also beta. Both are from the same side of the molecule. So that's why I am writing just, if you write this Newman projection in simple zigzag manner, then you will get this as a product. Okay, so that's why this product nucleophile here, instead of nucleophile we can write here hydrogen in this case. Okay, if we are having dimethylation, we can having methyl group here. Okay, so it's just a consideration. So this product we are getting major one when we are starting with sodium borohydride as a nucleophile. Okay, so this is the effect of reversal of stereoselectivity when we are having the chance of formation of chelate ring. Okay, so this is all about the rule number 3. Okay, so we have covered the rule number 1, the rule number 2, and rule number 3 in Felkiner model. So what are these rules are telling about us? That rule number 1 is related to the normal Felkiner model. Rule number 2 is related to the Felkiner model with heteroatom at the alpha chiral center, and rule number 3 is related to the presence of heteroatom, electronegative heteroatom at alpha carbon center with formation of chelate ring due to the presence of metal ions. Okay, so these are the summary. Okay, now let us consider the one more example related to this Felkiner model. By practice, you can draw this and you can find out these major and minor products by applying Felkiner model to the given substrate molecule. These problems are very essential regarding your CSIR, NET, SET, GATE examination. Okay, yeah, not only these, PET also. All universities are also taking the PET examination for screening the candidates for PhD. Okay, so such type of problems have been asked in your competitive examinations related to the chemistry. Okay, so that's why the knowledge of this Felkiner model and Cramp's rule are very essential to get the product in correct stereoselectivity. Okay, now we are considering the next problem, next example. Okay, consider here we are having, so this is carbonyl group, and here POPH2, here it is R, and here this is our substrate. Okay, carbonyl group. This is alpha carbon atom having alpha chiral center. R group is there, then POPH2 group is there, and one hydrogen is there, which is alpha. Okay, now when this substrate is treated with sodium borohydride in simple alcohol, that is methanol or ethanol, okay, then we are getting the product like this. Hydroxy is beta, and this alpha heteroatom, that is POPH2, is also beta. Okay, so this one is, we are getting this as a major product when we are using sodium borohydride, and when we are using, the reagent is same, sodium borohydride, okay, but cerium trichloride, CeCl3, and ethanol as a solvent. See here, this is the substrate which is common to all both reactions. The reducing agent, that is nucleophile, is also same, that is sodium borohydride. Both of the cases it is H minus is the nucleophile. But in this case we have simply taken the methanol as a solvent. In this case, along with the alcohol solvent, we have taken cerium trichloride, and we know that the cerium trichloride molecule is able to form a chelate ring. So that's why in this case we are getting reversal of stereoselectivity in the product. So the stereoselectivity is get reversed. In this case In the normal without chelation model, we are getting hydroxy and this heteroatom alpha carbon atom. These two groups are cis or seen to each other from the same side of the plane of the molecule. Here we are getting anti or trans. Okay, so the product is the hydroxy group is here alpha. Hydroxy group here it is alpha. OH, then R, POPH2. Okay, so this is the product. See the stereochemistry. This hydroxy and this POPH2. Okay, these are same to each other. Here they are anti to each other. They are trans to each other. Okay, substrate is same, reducing agent is same. Let us say solvent is also same. Okay, only the change is here we haven't used cerium trichloride. We have used here cerium trichloride as the chelating metal ion. Okay, now we will see how these products are forming. Okay, so first of all, how this cerium 3 plus, how this cerium 3 plus is forming a chelate ring with this molecule. Okay, so this is our carbonyl group. And okay, this is our carbon group. The opposite group is this one. Then POPH2, POPH2. Okay. Then R group is there. This is hydrogen. This is hydrogen here. Now, heteroatom is present at the alpha carbon atom. Here is oxygen. Here is oxygen. Both are having lone pair of electron, and we are having cerium 3 plus. So, due to the presence of this cerium 3 plus, this group, this POPH2 group, is get shifted close to this carbonyl group. The angle between these two groups is reduced from 90 degree to less than 90 degree, and we can write here the reduced angle in this fashion. POPH2. Okay, and here cerium is there. This cerium is forming chelate. This cerium is capable of forming chelate, so that's why 5-member ring chelate. Here 6-member, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6-member chelate ring is formed due to the presence of phosphorus. Extra atom is there. Okay, and hence lot of space is available, and that's why hydride, that is nucleophile, is attacking from this side, and we are getting here hydroxy will go here, then this group here and hydrogen here, then POPH2, R group, and here it is hydrogen. Okay, then we can simply rewrite so rotate this molecule that this substituent and this R group are from the same side. So R group is already in the plane of the molecule. So rotate the front carbon atom such that this substituent will come in the plane of the molecule. So I can write here. So it will become in the plane. Okay, hydrogen will go here, and hydroxy group will come at the bottom. R group is already in the plane, so no change in the rear carbon atom. POPH2. So what is the situation? This POPH2 and hydroxy, they are opposite to each other. This is the plane of the molecule, and POPH2 and hydroxy, they are opposite to each other, and means they are anti to each other. So if you redraw this molecule in a simple zigzag manner, then you are getting this product. So this is the stereochemical evidence how this product is formed when we are using cerium trichloride. Now let us see how this product will form. Okay. So again look this molecule, carbonyl. Okay. Then POPH2. Here it is R group. here it is hydrogen. Now there is no chance of chelation ring formation. So hydride incoming nucleophile will attack from this side, and that's why hydroxy will become here. Hydroxy here. This will be substituted, and this hydrogen will come here. Okay, remaining group will remain as it is, POPH2 R, and this is H. Okay, now rotate the molecule, that this group will come in the plane, this R group come in the plane. So both we have to rotate both front and rear carbon atoms. Okay, so we are redrawing this by molecule. We are getting here OH, EH. Okay, then this R, POPH2, and hydrogen. Now look at this POPH2 group and this hydroxy group on the adjacent carbon atoms are on the same side of the plane of the molecule. So this is the plane of the molecule. POPH2 at alpha carbon atom and hydroxy group at carbonyl carbon atom, which was carbonyl carbon atom at the in the substrate. They are in the same side of the carbon chain. Okay, so that's why we are getting this product. When we redraw this molecule in zigzag manner, we are getting this product. This is also beta above the plane. This is also beta above the plane. Okay, so we are getting this product. So this is the effect of chelation and without chelation. Okay, so I think all these 4 to 5 examples that we have taken here, they are sufficient to understand the concept of Felkin and model rule number 3. Okay, now we will do a summary. We will write a summary for this Felkin and model. How to remember, because we have considered 3 rules. How to remember these 3 rules? How to apply these 3 rules when we have a stereochemical nucleophilic addition to carbonyl group. Okay, see here. Summary. Felkin and model summary. So as we have 1, 2, 3 rules, then start with our when we have carbonyl compound, when we have carbonyl compound with alpha chiral center, means that compound is called as chiral aldehyde or chiral ketone, alpha chiral center. And then ask a question that is there any heteroatom at alpha chiral center? Is there any heteroatom is present at alpha chiral center? If the answer is no, then simply apply Felkin and rule number 1. Felkin and model rule number 1, that is, keep the largest or larger group at alpha carbon atom perpendicular to the carbonyl, and treat the reaction with stable conformation. So this is about rule number 1. We have a chiral aldehyde or ketone. Then first question: is there any heteroatom such as electronegative atom is there, such as Nr2, OH, OR, SR is there, halogen atom is there? Okay, if it is no, then simply apply Felkin and model rule number 1. Keep the largest group perpendicular to the carbonyl group and write the stable conformation of that substrate, and then do the attack of nucleophile accordingly, find out the product. Then if the answer of this question is yes, then what we have to do? Here you have to apply, here you have to ask second question. Heteroatom is present, then the second question is there any metal ion? Is there any metal ion capable of formation of chelate? This is the second question. Heteroatom is present, then whether metal ion is present which is capable of chelate ring. If the answer is no, then apply rule number 2. Felkin and model rule number 2. What it says? The heteroatom, that is electronegative atom, if at perpendicular to the carbonyl. Okay, heteroatom, that is electronegative atom, keep that atom perpendicular to the carbonyl and draw a conformation which is stable conformation and do attack of nucleophile and find out the structure accordingly. If the answer of this question is yes, both heteroatom is also present and metal ion is also present, then here in this case what we have to do? We have to do here apply rule number 3, Felkin and model rule number 3, that is chelation effect, which results into the reversal of stereoselectivity, which results into the reversal of stereoselectivity. So this is the summary of how to apply Felkin and model rule number 1, 2, 3 in the chiral aldehyde of ketone. Okay, so this is, I think, very essential to get the idea, to find out the product very easily, very fastly in your university as well as in your competitive exams like NET, CSIR, NET, SET, PET, etc. GATE. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.